number one, NDT follows the idea of you have to be able to crawl before you can walk. So it works really well with individuals pediatric, also works very well with individuals with a stroke. So a couple of different techniques that we want to emphasize. Now, what we're doing here is facilitation and inhibition. So I'm not an NDT trained person, and I'm not a PNF trained person. So you may go off in your clinicals, work with someone and say, your handholds are completely off, because it's all about facilitating the correct muscles and inhibiting the correct muscles, okay? So I want you to push into my hands, push into my hands, push into my hands. So now watch what his sitting balance does, and insofar as his trunk ability. So now he has to maintain that motion. And now he's healthy, but you take the same approach with an individual that's had a stroke, and it works very effective. Push into my hands, sit up tall, and then they can get in that position. Now, patients will have a hard time, so from a neurofacilitation standpoint, what you try and do is reinforce this. So you give them a little bit of lordosis, and you give them a little bit of I don't know, sternal elevation, if you will, to get them in that posture, okay? You sit them in that position, and you facilitate them and push into my hands. Good. And now, as he does that, so in a patient that has proprioception issues that's hanging out over here, now they're actually able to push down, push up. Now they're actually putting weight into that left glute, okay? Right? And then how can I fine-tune that to make him move his head? His head's over to the left side, so now I can add in the pressure to the head as well. So turn, push against my hand here, push against it, push against it. Okay? Is he straining? Okay? So now they have to do that. All right? Pair up and try that. A position. So here's a patient that's had a stroke. I'm so sorry, sir. How are you today? Doing great. So what we're going to try and emphasize is he's going to raise his arm up like this. Okay? So this is the pattern. The way to do this is you repeat the motion of activity that you want him to do. Okay? Did you get that pattern? So you're reaching down here and pulling a sword out, and then you're going to pull that sword out and show me that sword. Okay? Now, the way to do this from a progression standpoint is work on the proximal muscles, because that's what's going to come back first, and then move towards the distal. Now in his case, he's healthy, right? But so let's load up his distal and see how he does. Now my positioning is the same concept of this X. So I'm moving him this way. So my position is here. All right, bring your hand up like you just did that sword. All right, so there is my resistance. I'm using my body as opposed to my small guns, right? Keep going though. Match my resistance all the way up, 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 all the way up. Good, bring it back down. And I flip my positions to here to bring them all the way here. All the way down, come on, reach. Push up, push up, push up, push up. Breathe, 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 breathe. All the way up. And then as they start to get good at it, you can just go distally, all the way down. Okay? And now it becomes a heck of a workout. Right? Okay, good. That's the upper extremity. And that's just the one pattern. How'd you do with that? Didn't hurt. Looking at for here, you want to do the same sort of approach of showing the movement that we're trying to go to. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Okay? This is what we're going to do. Lift up. Bring the foot up too. Kick in the foot. And bring the leg all the way up. Push down. Push up. Push down. Push up. Get that foot in. Push down. Push down. Come on. Lift up. All the way up. Push down. So you have to be fairly able to adapt to that, and you're using that same sort of principle. Great.